Have you ever thought about the power of your voice? Not just solely when you speak to a client, when you're using it and utilizing it inside of your business, but also when you're doing videos, when you're doing talkovers. Today, we're going to be really diving a little bit more deeper in to the power of your voice, the importance of it, and having had my podcast for almost 5 years this year in November. I believe it was October or November. I had the privilege this January to take a 3-day business summit, and it was all about marketing and intuition and energy, all kinds of different things and aspects. And one of the most profound talks that we had was actually about the power of our voice, the power of using a pause, the power of increasing the tone of our voice and also lowering it. And it really stuck with me because it's something that I do naturally that I never thought about. And I wanted to really, because I know a lot of you are educators or are actually working with clients one-on-one. A lot of you are mobile, stylists or professionals. So you're meeting new clients all the time. It is so important. Like I always tell my kids, it's not what we say, it's how we say it. And so I wanted to dive into the importance of your voice in video, in podcasting, and just how powerful it can be. And the importance of really talking from within your own truth and your own experiences. So with that, let's get into today's episode. The voice is something so powerful, and it can be very misleading if we're not very cautious with it. So that's why I really wanted to talk about the importance of it today. And we're going to start with the power of your voice in video. So anytime you're going to create a video, your voice has also energy to it, right? When you talk to a friend and your friend calls you and she is super excited over the moon and she's screaming and you can feel and hear the joy in her voice, just like you can tell when that friend is calling you crying or sad, we can hear that as humans. We can sense and feel the change of tone based on the voice. And the same thing happens with video. So next time that you go into creating a video or into sharing a video, always think about the power of your voice. Like how are you saying things? 5 of us can say the same sentence and it would sound completely different depending on our tone of voice that we give and energy that we give off on that. And I really wanted to talk about that because something that I really do that I never shared when I do live videos or, like I just did a live for Pinterest TV, which an episode's coming up on that on here in the podcast and the differences between that. I may be a hot ass mess before I push the live button, but I'm always very conscious that my voice has a lot of power to it and to be very intentional with it. Not to mince my words or make my lives are never going to be like 20 minutes, half an hour, unless I really need to do that, which I do with Pinterest TV lives. Other than that, I try to keep it under 5 minutes. The reason for that is that people's time is super valuable. And I really try to deliver messages from my heart. I don't plan scripts. I don't have a cheat sheet that I utilize. It's really more intuitive on what topic I want to talk about and how I want to deliver that. And I want to share with you how all this came about and the importance of it. So if somebody came up to you today and asked you to please move over, thank you, versus can you get out of the way or can you please move over? You can hear the different tones of voice and energy that's given throughout each of those 3 commands or asks, which is really for you to just move out of the way. But depending how you say it, how it's going to impact. And I think it's so important that we are very, very authentic with how our voice is. So my kids always make fun of me because they say I have my nice voice. My voice gets a little more high pitched when I'm trying to be nice, they say. I'm not trying to be nice. It's just that if I don't know you, right, you have no idea who the heck I am. And we're going to be in a conversation for a minute or a couple of seconds over the phone. I need you to understand that I am a kind person, but I'm very assertive. And at the same time, I am very kind. So that's how I do, like what my kids call my kind voice. And there are times in our life when we have to bring out the other voice, right? When we have to be assertive, or something is not going on like we want it to, or we have to get some type of resolution made. Our voice and our energy is going to change with that. And it's so important that when you go utilize live video or make any type of video that's going to have your voice in it, that you are very, very conscious of, what do I sound like? What does my voice? Is it my true voice? Is it my true feelings, what I'm trying to share? Because you can feel that. Your audience can feel when you're trying to hide something or you're being different. And I know it can be hard at times because life is going to happen. Last year I had a really bad, life-altering incident happen. And I didn't have to, but I decided to let my audience know that my voice and my energy was going to change a little bit because I'm trying to heal through this whole situation. The reason why I did that, although I did not have to do that, I decided to, is because I could even hear the change of tone, the change of the energy behind my voice, and I could feel the sadness within my own face and voice, like for a while. And so I decided to be very transparent with my audience, although I didn't go into detail, because sometimes we think when we're a personal brand or we're a business that we have to share every single nitty-gritty detail. And one of the beautiful things that I've learned in this summit that I took in January of this year, with the power of our voice and also the power of vulnerability, is that you get to be vulnerable, but you get to be also very selective on who you're vulnerable with. And what that means is I got to share hey, I love you guys. I appreciate your support. I went through a hard time. So you may see me sometimes I'm a little sad, or my voice may sound a little off. Just know it has nothing to do with you or my business, just something personal I'm going through. I was vulnerable there, but I did limit what amount of vulnerability I was willing to share. And you can still be authentic in that sense. And I really wanted to share that because all of us go through shit. It's part of life, right? Whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether it's with health, whether it's with somebody that we love, whether it's a human, whether it's a pet or a furry family member. I lost my chinchilla last year, and I was very sad. I really was. I was surprised how much I was crying and sad I was, because Ruru was part of my life. She was like my little sidekick. She was like my little bitch who was there hanging out with me. I love to use that word for all my girls. So, so she was really my part of my life, and I actually cried, and I actually was sad, and I actually delayed my process of my renovation of my mobile salon. Now I laugh at it because it sounds funny, but it truly did affect me deeply. And that is the part with vulnerability with our voice, that we also have to, you get to decide what you want to do with it. And to end this part of the video portion, before we go into the audio, if you do podcasting, if you leave a voice message, different things, before I go into that part, the second part of this podcast today, I want to end this part with the video and the power of your voice. You are allowed to take a pause. You are allowed to say, let me look into that for you. I'm not really sure. I haven't experienced that. I've never utilized that product. You get to say, I don't know everything, and be confident and comfortable with that. Part of doing video and sharing our voice and sharing your experiences, sharing your expertise in things, is that we're not always going to know everything. I don't know every single thing. And I want to share a quick little story with you. So when I went on Pinterest Live on Monday, there is this new product many people are using, and it's not at K18. It's not the OLA, you know what? It's not none of those popular products. It's actually this new product. And one of them asked me, hey, actually 3 of them asked me, hey, have you utilized this product? And I'm like, honestly, I haven't heard of it. I haven't used it. So I wouldn't be able to recommend or say anything about it because I really don't know. And that is an honest answer. And I think they're like, oh, okay, thank you. I was being honest. I was being transparent. And it was okay that I don't know the answer to everything. So with the power of our voice, you're allowed to say that. You're allowed to say, I don't know, let me look into it. I'm not sure, send me a message, which is something that I did also on my live. And I'm just sharing that because when we do video, sometimes it can be nerve-wracking, and sometimes we stop ourselves from sharing our experiences, sharing our life, sharing our lessons that can benefit and help so many out there. But most importantly, when you get on video and you authentically share from your heart, whether it's experiences, your expertise, whatever it is that you're giving out to your community, it can really help to heal and grow to a new level. So I really wanted to share that with you. I was not born with a special gift. I actually come from a corporate background. I used to be a lot over the phone. I think that really helped me in life, having over 13 years of office experience, dealing with very angry people sometimes. And they had right reasons. Sometimes they didn't. My job was to use the power of my voice to calm them down, find a resolution, and, whether it was fitting for them or not, try to best, resolve things. And that's where I learned where the power of our voice really comes in. So with that, let's go into the power of our voice with not with video, because we already covered video, but now we're going to do the power of our voice when it comes to podcasting, messages, voiceovers, which you can do on video as well. Anything that you utilize your voice for. Your voice is a very powerful tool. And sometimes we can feel, and I'm sharing from my experience, I did not like the sound of my voice for the longest time. Now I embrace it, and it's my voice and I love it. It's part of who I am. It's what makes Celeste me, the person me. And it took a while to listen to that, okay? I had to be okay with re-listening to my podcast, listening to everything, making sure it was okay before I posted. So I got used to hearing my voice and also the energy behind it. So for voice and podcasting, it's okay to take a pause. A pause can be a very, very powerful tool, and you get to utilize that. So don't be scared of taking a pause. With voice, you want to be also authentic with who you are. I am Latina, not Hispanic. I'm Latina, and I do speak 2 languages. I'm bilingual in Spanish and English, and I know how to write and read in both of them. So my brain, the way I learned everything, although English was my first language that I learned, I didn't practice English for like 6 years of my, young life. So I have a little bit of an accent. I can hear a little bit of my accent in English. I have an accent in Spanish, but I still make it work for me because it is my voice. It is the power I have behind it. And that's why I want to encourage you, if you are stopping yourself from doing a podcast, doing a voiceover because your voice does not sound like everybody else, that is your superpower. Especially now with, like Instagram, they have, shied away from only video. Now they're doing photos and video, right? A mix of things, which is so important. And I talked about that last month before they even made their announcement, the importance of having variety. The same thing goes with the voice. People can recognize you from your voice. It's incredible. And I'm just sharing my experiences because I want this to help you. Help people from just hearing me on the podcast. They know it's me. When they hear a video, they let me know. These are the private conversations that happen on the DMs. They let me know, oh yeah, I saw your video. I heard your voice and I knew it was you. Or I know you go live. I listen to all of your lives. I love listening to your voice. They can just recognize because my voice sounds a little bit different than everybody else. So don't stop yourself because you are different. Your difference in voice and the power of your experiences is beautiful. And it's going to help you differentiate yourself from everybody else. There are thousands of podcasts out there. There's so many podcasts on beauty business, hairstylist podcasts, esthetician podcasts, lashing artists, all kinds of podcasts. The reason why I show up here 5 years almost into this every single week is because of the power that I'm able to help others see within their own selves through the power of voice. And you have that same gift and that same power if you're willing to tap into it. So next time that you want to leave a voice message, or you want to do a voiceover, you want to do a podcast episode, think about the energy behind it. Today I feel a little bit up in coffee. It's raining outside. There's also snow, which is like rare where I live at, up in the mountains. So it's a very relaxing, comforting day. And I really wanted to share the power of utilizing your voice in your business and outside of it, especially in social media. If I would have kept myself from doing videos because I hated the sound of my voice for so many years, I would not be here today. And I want that opportunity for you as well. Your clients, your potential clients, and your existing clients connect with you through the power of your voice, through the power of you on video, through your energy that is felt and seen, not just physically, not just by the beautiful hair that you have, but also by the power of your voice and who you are as a person, by your life experiences, by your business experiences, by your expertise in the industry. And I really hope that this podcast really helped you today to really realize and start utilizing the power of your own voice in your videos, especially voiceovers, in your messaging and everything. Make sure that it sounds like you. You get to be sassy. You get to be spicy. I know some of my followers do tell me that I am sassy. And a little, I'm a little spicy. That's how they put it. I'm a little spicy at times. But that's who I am. And I want to be able to attract the people that, should be a part of my group and community and repel what's not for me. And I think that's one of the biggest things when it comes to the power of your voice and speaking from your heart and your experiences and expertise, is that sometimes we're so scared to being different. And I'm not scared of being different because I know I am different. I know I'm not like everybody else. I know I don't think like everybody else. I don't act like other people because I like acting like me. I need to be able to put my head down my pillow in my bed at the end of each day, feeling good about the human being I am and making sure that when I'm out in the world, I'm making it a better place. Because I know how hard life can be. And I know that you may be going through hard things. And strangers out there may be going through hard things that I have no idea about. But I want to make sure that when you're able to come into this space, you feel safe, that you feel welcomed, and that you know that your power that the power of your voice is so powerful. And don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself to talk about whatever you want. It doesn't solely have to be just about business. Talk about the human being that you are. Get as personal or not personal as you want. That is the beauty of being in business, is being your own brand. As I started this podcast with today, is that the power of your vulnerability. You get to be vulnerable as much as you want without giving every nitty-gritty detail of what's going on with your life. So if you're wanting to grow, whether it's in business with clientele, working with brands, education, all of those experiences, please start using the power of your voice to differentiate yourself, and so that other people can discover the power that you have and start owning it. It's okay to be different. It's okay that we all sound very different, but always be very mindful of your energy behind the voice. Remember the power of your voice and start utilizing it more in your life and business. I hope this was super helpful. So much love. I will see you back here next week. I will be releasing a Spanish episode tomorrow, so you can go ahead and skip that one if Spanish is not your second language or first language. And we'll be back with the English episodes on Monday. So much love. See you then. Bye, love.